Hello. So I wanted to do a energy transmission today, and I haven't really gotten any kind of specific topic that's come through for what would best serve this collective. So I decided to do a reading on what we're moving through collectively. So I haven't prepared for this at all. I don't have any questions written down or anything. This is just going to be straight channeling the energy. And then based on what we find from this reading, I will do an energy transmission and activation, call in whatever relevant supports, deities, spirits. And we'll just see how this goes, because this is the first time I've done it this way. So I've pulled 2 cards already just to get a feel for who I'm reading for and what you're moving through. So we have the 7 of Cups and the Page of Cups. This is feeling to me like you're feeling a sense of possibility and like an openness that you haven't experienced before. So it's new. You're like a student of this energy, and because this faith and possibility is so new for you, it's kind of overwhelming. It's like there are so many options, and you might feel like you just don't know what direction to go in, like you're kind of being pulled all over the place. And your imagination and intuition are really active. So something that I have gotten the impression of before, when I apply it to myself, it's like, this sounds, I don't know, it sounds a little out there to say this, but I feel it and know it to be true. And I feel like with so many things like this, it's a lot easier to say it and believe it about someone else than it is to accept it as true for ourselves. But the insight that I've gotten around how active my mind and like visualization can be is, I've kind of associated it with like limerence, like overactive thinking. Anyways, I hope you're kind of getting the picture of what I'm describing. It's just like so easy for me to tune into, well, this could happen or this could happen, and like I can follow this a long way. And I shamed myself for quite a while over this, like, I was just in fantasy land. But what came through, I'm finally getting to the point here, is that this is a skill of seeing into alternate timelines. So it kind of plays off of the truth of, anything you want, your desire is proof that it's not only possible, but your future self, the version of you that is already there is experiencing this. So they're calling you to the desire that you have. If you feel like you've been caught up in a lot of imagination, visions, what you may call fantasy, which is a little bit more judgmental, you are seeing into other dimensions, you're seeing into other timelines, and you are seeing real possibilities. So I say that to encourage you to be kind to yourself and not treat yourself like, you're wasting time or you're just delusional. You are not. You are seeing very real things. If this is becoming distracting for you, then hopefully we can get some support on how to balance this out with staying present and embodied, because you still want to be able to live your life. So next, let's ask about, what is the purpose? Like, how is this serving us right now? How is this serving you to be able to experience the myriad possibilities of different futures? what is it that's coming through for you right now? Like, what is kind of the common denominator in what you're being shown? Ooh, okay, we have the Emperor and we have the Fool. So this new skill is coming from some way that you have anchored into your own stability, which is really encouraging. So especially if, again, you've been feeling kind of like overwhelmed with how active your mind is, and if you're feeling kind of frustrated with like, I can't be present for more than like 5 seconds at a time before I'm like pulled off to somewhere else. This is because you have this new sense of stability and anchoring. You have grounded in yourself and in your power in a new way that was not accessible to you before. So because you have, as we go down, we go up. So because you have that, groundedness, now you have opened up to even more of a sense of possibility and this like magical energy of anything is possible. Like, you can leap into anything. I feel like, especially just right now, this is not something I've really thought or put into words before, but the Fool is like the possibility of quantum leaping. It's like that energy, whatever it is, that is the spark behind enabling us to go from one reality to another. So that's what's behind this new expansiveness, and it's also the purpose of it, because you have now gotten to a point where you are stable enough and trusting enough in yourself to leap wherever the fuck you want. Oh my God. Amazing. So exciting. Okay, so what do we need to know now? How can you best use this energy? Now we know what it's for, what the purpose is. Like I said, I haven't written these questions down, so I hope that as I continue talking that I remember the way that I worded the question. I might not get it exactly word for word. You know what? It's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm trying to say is I've already kind of forgotten how I phrased this first question, but so how can you use this new expansiveness in the best way? Like, how does this best serve you? Where can you place your focus to make the most of this? Because this is a good direction to go in because of the how scattered that Seven of Cups energy can feel. Where is this focus best? Where is your focus best placed so that you're not just being pulled in every possible direction? Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. We have the Devil and we have the Tower. Bro. Well, the first thing that's coming through for this is, what do you want? Like, what do you want most right now? This is also somewhat referring to, okay, I'm getting it now. So it's the energy of naming what you want most, regardless of how trivial or, maybe ego-driven it feels to you. Maybe it's something that you have tried to kind of disown for a while, like that deepest, strongest thing that's like, no, that's too, like it's too shallow, or whatever thing it is that you most feel like you shouldn't want. Whatever thing feels like you have been the most, like there have been the most attachments for you, and that attachment comes from all of the ways that you've been judging yourself for this desire and feeling like it's something you're not supposed to have. So this is saying like that's what you're being invited and encouraged to go for. And doing that is going to completely tear down these ideas, this false narrative you have around this desire, that it's something that, you're not supposed to want, or that it's just selfish. And likely, because you're on this path, because you're here, I feel pretty confident. I feel confident saying that like you have done a lot of work around this already. This desire has been with you for a long time. It's not something, even though you do have a lot of, there's been a narrative around it for you. You've had judgment around the thing itself, around yourself for wanting it. This is not a surprise to you. Like, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is kind of your, like, the last layer has cleared for you to be like, no, I'm going to fucking go for this. And because you're now at this point where you've grounded down, you've freed the energy upwards and outwards to make the leap to the next level, this is your time to move forward with that, whatever that thing is for you, whatever that desire is for you, because that's going to bring you this freedom, the freedom from the illusions that you had around this desire. So what kind of support, what serves you best now to ask for? So what can you, first. What is already inside of you that you can lean on that will best support this movement? And what can you ask for from Spirit to support you in accessing this? So you have your internal component that you are already resourced in, and then the component that you're asking for help with. So the first card is going to be the internal component that you already have. And the second card is going to be what you're asking for. Oh my God. Okay. King of Cups. So this is your internal resourcedness that's already available to you. You have done so much work around your emotions. You've done so much shadow work. You have learned how to feel fully without censoring yourself, without bypassing, but you also have this structure in place so that you can go down to the depths without getting like stuck or kind of mired in your feelings. So you have this structure around feeling and emotions that allows them to flow freely. So this is something you can lean on as you are moving towards this like taboo thing that you've always fucking wanted, you have the skills and the resources to navigate the emotions that that's going to bring up for you, and that this process of breaking down illusions is going to bring up for you. And interesting that we have this person in blue and this person in red with blue underneath, and bro, look. Person in blue, person in red with like blue underneath. So, ooh. That's so fun. So this breakdown of illusions is going to involve this new stability that you've been cultivating, and this, I mean, again, the King of Cups is also stability, this emotional structure. So it's going to be, I know a lot of people feel like, you know, you might get that kind of pit in your stomach when you see the Tower if you draw it. And I don't know, I love, the Tower is a great card. You know, you don't want to carry those illusions around with you, and it doesn't have to be, you know, not that you can bypass it, it's definitely uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be this like panic getting the rug ripped out from underneath you once you are secure in knowing that you can experience a breakdown and a build back up, because that's the pattern of growth. I hope that's making sense and it doesn't just sound like word salad. So you're coming into a deeper like solidity and a clarity and a truth around both of these stable masculine energies by following this path toward, you know, the thing, whatever this thing is for you. And what you're asking for, what you're being invited and encouraged to ask for from Spirit, the support, is this 10 of Cups, which is so beautiful. A lot of cups. We have all cups and court cards so far in this reading. Incredible. Yeah, so ask your, I just looked up to 1717, which is the star. It's always such a beautiful like reminder and encouragement when I see it. So anyways, okay. So ask your spirit team for this emotional support, for this bliss and love, and just the feeling that this is something that you have. It's not, you know, it will be reflected in your external reality, but even if you don't feel like you have this 10 of Cups energy physically in your life right now, your team is here to surround you with this bliss and love and support. And like, what a perfect, if I'm going through a Tower moment, this is what I want on my side. So ask for it, ask for help. You can ask for anything you want. And your team and the universe and source wants to help you and support you and trusts you to not only follow your desires, but that your desires are for your highest good, and what you're asking for is for your highest good. What else do we need to know about this? Okay, so we have the energy we've been moving through, what purpose it's serving, and what has provided the foundation for it. We have what you're best served using it for, and your inner and not outer, but the resources that will best support you. Okay, let's ask about what's on the other side of this. So what is this leading you towards? Almost like, yeah, I guess like what is the purpose of this particular stint of your journey? 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So this is about building your legacy. And it's about you focusing on whatever the star is for you. So this thing that has felt like it's what keeps you going. Like whenever you have, and you've been through this a lot, whenever you've gone through something that you're like, I just don't think I can do it anymore. I don't think that I can keep going. All of the down moments, the dips, this has been you learning how to hold this vision. And holding and following that vision is how you are building your legacy. And not just building it, actually experiencing it, actually living in this reality. Yeah, that was kind of like a check-in, a little tweak for me that no, this isn't just something that's like forever coming, forever in the future, you're building towards it. No, this is about truly receiving this in the physical, this being your present experience of reality, this deep overflow, like wild resourcedness, so that you are supported and can continue to be this student on the path to your, and this might not track for everyone, but what I'm feeling for this is, because this pentacle represents the star, we all have different versions of what that is, but at its in its broadest sense, it is your soul's purpose, like what you came here to be. Wow. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, you've got permission. You have permission to fucking fantasize. And not just that, to like actually pursue. You're not just being told like, yeah, go wild, thinking about it, but actually go for it. Okay, so now I'm thinking, what is the difference here between fantasy and forward movement? How will you recognize the difference between, the Seven of Cups, Page of Cups energy, where you're like, the possibilities are endless. You're feeling this limitless, expansive energy. You're focusing it on this particular desire that has always felt like, well, that's the thing that you can't have. Yeah, so what does taking action on this look like for you? What does it look like to take action towards this desire? Oh my God. Okay, well, speaking of the star, we have the star and we have the Lovers. I mean, first and foremost, it's just a choice. So with that, okay, you got to give me something more than that, because I don't feel like that's super helpful. Yeah, I mean, this is like, it still feels a little bit redundant to me, but you're choosing to move toward your like integration of and wholeness with your soul, like your ultimate existence in this lifetime, expression of what your soul came here to do and be. And really important note about this, that your purpose is just existing as the fullest expression of you, as who you are in this moment, what is authentic to you. And yes, of course, in a practical sense, we want that to come with like, what actions do I take that accompany this? But I feel like it's so common, and this is like one of the biggest things that kind of jump-started my own spiritual journey, was the idea that your purpose is not something you do, it's who you are, it's how you be. That's it. Not super correct usage of language, but it doesn't matter, you get what I'm saying. So in this vision of divine union, which is your internal union with yourself, you are fully embodying this energy of both polarities of yourself. So both the feminine and the masculine energy here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to this. And this is about taking action versus not just looping in the fantasy aspect of this new expansive energy. Yeah, and I still don't, neither of these cards are what I would have expected to answer the question of action. So I think the biggest takeaway that I'm getting from this here is that it's not about a conventional understanding of action. It's about alignment. Also, okay, how cool that we got both of these cards here, because these are really interesting mirrors of each other. Okay, so this is also about flipping this paradigm of seeing through the lens of the judgment of your desire, and which is what creates attachment in the first place, is gives this, it's what creates addiction, because it gives whatever you're focusing on more power over you, because you're judging it, and so you're putting it on a pedestal. And you've probably heard this every time anyone's ever read the devil card for you, but these the chains on them are not tight. They could take them off if they wanted to. So this action again, oh God, that's so cool. I'm so glad I noticed that. So the action that you're being encouraged to take here is to return to this paradigm where you are choosing to see, even if it doesn't feel like it right away, even if it takes time for you to catch up, you are choosing to see this desire, whatever it is, what I'm talking about, whatever came into your mind, for this card, the thing that you have been judging yourself for and pushing away, choosing to see it as part of your soul's path, like the thing that you are being drawn to for a reason. Oh, I love that. How exciting. Okay, let me see if there's anything else coming through for the star. Again, of course, if you watched my last reading, where I talked about the Page of Pentacles and the star, we got them together, the last reading that I did, and I mentioned how I really liked Rachel's interpretation of them, and then they came out in the exact same order this time as well. And I would not have made that connection if I hadn't, if I didn't keep up with her readings and was not learning from her. So this was about, the Page of Pentacles was from the question about the purpose of this whole sequence of expansion. And the Star was about the actual taking action on it. So in this, the Page of Pentacles, you are in this student energy, you're learning, and it's about where you're placing your focus. And then the Star came up for an actual, concrete action. So it's like you're moving from the energy of studying and learning to the actual thing itself, your soul's purpose and mission. Okay, is there anything else we need to know about this spread? What a fucking spread. Seriously, like tens, court cards, and major arcana. What the fuck? This is incredible. Oh yeah, let's just ask, is there anything else you need to know? Any other messages that Spirit has for you at this time pertaining to this energy? Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. This is a really beautiful ending. So you're moving from this scene of being in companionship, this leader outside of like traditional structures and frameworks, especially this is a church that they're outside of. So the energy of reminds me of the energy of the Hierophant, which is also five in the major arcana. Like the shadow side of that is feeling is like that rigidity, control, fundamentalism, puritanical ideals, like and I'm sure there are other ways you could think of that shadow energy, but because that is kind of that's the paradigm that I am most familiar with, so that's always what I think of as like the ways that religious structure has been used to support and what word am I trying to think of? Move along like imperialism and systems of oppression and control. So this Five of Pentacles energy is about being outside of these systems and feeling like a beggar and an outcast, and like this person is hurt, so being damaged and wounded, and having this companionship as you are out in the cold, in the snow, existing outside of these structures, and moving from this energy where you are being recognized as a leader, but this is not it's not really a happy picture. It's very transitional energy. Moving from here to the King of Pentacles, which is again like an incredible energy of leadership and having these resources, being grounded in an abundance of physical energy, an abundance of physical resources. What I'm getting is that not just that you're moving, this whole arc is you moving from this energy to here, to the King of Pentacles. I did lose that train of thought. Where was I going with that? You've always been a leader. And you are now getting the experience of leadership from this much more resourced position. And this was also a beautiful facet of this journey for you. This is where you were first recognized. And as this recognition, if this is the same people or just an energy, as you have undergone this arc of transformation from this energy to the King of Pentacles, you've brought this recognition along with you, and now you are getting to experience yourself and your own leadership from this much more comfortable position. Yeah, I mean, King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, incredible. Wow. So I am going to record and release the energy transmission below for premium subscribers to support you in this. I'll focus on bringing through support for flipping the narrative and perspective from the Devil to the Lovers to the energy of the Star, and bringing through, again, this energetic support from your spirit team, from Spirit, for you as you move through the Tower energy, because that does not have to be, you are not cursed or predestined to experience the Tower as it doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be an excruciating ego death. If you are not holding on for dear life to the illusions that are being broken down. So yeah, we're going to bring through support for you in that, and support in you really activating and recognizing your soul's bigger purpose in who you are here to be and exist as. And, if you have been looking for, kind of feeling like you are missing the practical component of that, like what to physically do with yourself, we'll bring through support for that as well, for you to be led to what it is, what the physical action is that will best correspond with the energy of you, fulfilling your soul's mission, because there's the energetic component where you literally just existing, that's it. You don't need to be working hard or doing any particular thing. You can be at the grocery store, you can be hanging out with your friends, you can be, if you have a 9-to-5, you can be there, even if it feels so far from what your dream daily activities would be. Anywhere you are existing, you being connected to your soul and the wholeness of who you are is you serving your purpose. But I know so well the feeling of pain and discomfort, of feeling like your physical daily activities are not aligning with what feeds your soul, and you feel like you're being called to do in this lifetime in a practical sense. So we'll bring through support for connecting to those opportunities, opening those doorways for you as well. I hope you enjoyed this reading. This was so gorgeous. I love that I got to do this for you. Thank you for being here. I would love to hear from you how this resonated, and provide any extra support that you may need. So yeah, I'm always here for you. Talk soon.